We've been promised a lot of things. Work hard, work long enough, stay focused, and eventually you can retire to a peaceful existence. Instead, many of us over 50, we feel burnout, we feel behind. So, what if the biggest retirement lie that we've been told is not how much money you need, but the sacrifices you're going to have to make to try to get there? So, we're waking up. We're realizing that the life we're living, the life we've been living for the last 30, 40 years, doesn't match up with where we thought we were going to be at this age. Many of us have started over and over and over, whether it has been dramatic events in our lives, whether it's been a natural disaster, a unexpected divorce, widowhood, having to take care of not just raising the children the original time, but adult children who are returning to the nest, and now with caregiving to our parents, in addition to the level of work that we're still performing outside the home for our careers, trying to make sure we meet some sort of elusive amount in our retirement accounts before we can even consider retiring. Oh my God, I'm tired just thinking about it. And don't get me started if some of us have got these atrocious commutes to do in between. Life, it can get hard. Ferris Bueller had it right, though. Moves pretty quick. If you don't take a minute and look around, you could just miss it. Grab a cup of joe. Let's talk about this. So we were told, we were even set the example by our parents and our grandparents. Work hard, stay the course, be loyal, don't job hunt. And eventually, you're going to get to retirement and you can just sit back and relax. Nobody told us everything else that's going to happen in between there and some of the stupid decisions and choices we were going to make. How much consumer debt you got? You upside down in your car? Trying to keep up with those proverbial Joneses? I think we've learned these lessons hard. But now, in our 50s, and if you're not quite to 50 yet, then pay attention, because you have got to start facing the piper now in paying off some of that debt, because we can't carry that into our retirement and ever expect to be able to live until 90 without having to knock on the door of our kids or have other not so wonderful retirement experiences. It's time for us to pull up our bootstraps, pull up those big girl panties, and let's just face the music. We got some messes to clean up, so let's go clean them up now. There's mountains we've yet to climb when it comes to retirement, especially if you're thinking about, this is my last job, I am so over it, I'm done, I'm leaving. Okay, great. But you're not going to leave in a huff and you're not going to pitch a fit about it. You're going to have a plan. So let's start talking about what this plan may look like. First thing you need to know is how much you need every month right now to live, regardless of if you are wanting to retire early, retire in a fit, and what that retirement may look like. Many of us don't think we'll ever quit working 100%. I'm one of them. Eventually, maybe, but possibly, God willing, not in the next 15 years. I enjoy doing. I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing outside the home. I don't want to keep answering to somebody else and working the schedule they force me to work. No, I'm done with that. This is my last job outside the house. However, I enjoy my side hustles. These feed my creativity. These get me out of bed and put a spring in my step. So you may have some things that you want to begin doing, in which case, great. But for right now, the reality you need to look at right now is you got to do a budget for how your life operates today. So down in the description, free for you, I've got Master Your Money Plan Workbook. Go and snag that. And while you're at it, download the Life Experiences to Income Workbook as well. This will help you identify what you could possibly do as a side hustle or additional income to help pay off debt, etc., while you're currently working. Because we've got to do this smart. We can't just leave in a huff. We're not having a temper tantrum. We're making a plan and we're working a plan. Plan the work, work the plan. We got this. So retirement, next chapter, whatever words you use, it is no longer an ending, it is a reinvention. And the sooner you realize that, the happier you're going to be with where you're moving to next. We now get to reinvent what our next chapter looks like. Because by God, we are Generation X and we have done this dozens of times in our career. And we're leaving our mark yet again. X marks the spot, and the spot's our next chapter. The old retirement model, the one that we grew up believing was the retirement model. Oh, Social Security, it's going to help us out. Those pensions and 401k, I don't have to think about retirement. I'll just keep putting a little bit away every paycheck. Yeah, that's great to a point, but did you fully understand what those potential vehicles were? If you're in a 401k, have you looked at where that money's invested, or have you just blindly left that up to somebody else? You check the box on the rebalancing and just hope for the best? It's not too late to start directing your 401k to work even harder for you. When was the last time you actually looked at the statement? How much in your 401k is actually growing and what's happening to that? And there's a lot of things about investing in retirement money that I cannot explain to you, but I do have somebody in my life that I sit down with regularly and have these conversations. I went to the Dave Ramsey website years ago and got me an endorsed local provider who has the heart of a teacher. So if you've got nobody else in your life to help walk you through these, I completely encourage you to find somebody there. But your spouse, your parents, if they're still around, a trusted friend, somebody at church, somebody in your community. Ask your friends if they've got somebody they'd recommend. But find somebody to help you look over your pile of money and figure out what your retirement in your next chapter is going to look like. There's also software products today that weren't around 10, 15 years ago. I enjoy, my husband adores, and by adores, I mean as much as a engineering mind can, but Bolden is a online program that does have a free version, but also they have a very economical, affordable annual plan as well that I do encourage you. Not affiliated, not get any kickbacks, just it's really a great program that even builds in things like cost of living adjustments, etc. But it can help direct you as well. So it's time you take the bull by the horns and go figure some of this stuff out so that you know exactly how much of a gap you may have for retirement you're going to have to fill with a side hustle or a part-time job. Because Gen X, most of us are not going to be able to 100% retire. We have been too dadgum busy raising the kids, riding the ups and the downs of the markets or the hurricanes that blow in or the metaphorical hurricanes that happen in our lives, divorces, etc., giant medical expenses. These are our realities. And so for those of us who may never have the opportunity to 100% lay it down completely, that's all right. We're inventing something yet again. It's called the hybrid retirement. Used to be called semi-retired. No, we've rebranded it. It's hybrid retirement. We're doing a glide down retirement. It is up to you how you want it to look like, because you are the master of your budget and you know exactly what your expenses are. And if you don't, you will soon go and get that freebie down below and keep coming back. I've got other lessons coming up about your budgeting and what your expenses are in retirement, including healthcare costs, because you're in charge in almost all of those. And as we approach 65, so you know how long I plan to do these side gigs, because I'm 7 years away from that, we're going to be talking about Medicare. So y'all keep coming back. I am Jenny. I got a little to say about a lot of stuff. And all of it is about how we can better be prepared for retirement and get to where we want to be and enjoy the ride. Because I'm practicing my retirement now, even though I'm still working full time and doing my side hustles in the cracks. As we get into this next decade of life, and let's talk about, we're in our 50s now. We're already burnt out. We're already tired. We're over it. So we've got to start taking time for ourselves. And for me, that looks like nights, weekends, vacation time. That is now 100% my time. I am practicing my retirement every chance I get. Even at work, I am making sure I give them 100% of what they hired me to do. But all the extras, those are for me. I'm now focused on getting up and taking those walks after lunch or after breakfast. I now take some mental health breaks to just walk away when I need the stress reduction or I just need to go sit in the sunshine for a minute. Again, all within the guidelines of what's appropriate to be away from my desk, to be away from being able to, for somebody to ask me a question, but it's how I'm practicing retirement. Leave down in the comments how you're going to start practicing some of your retirement, whether it's your weekend activities, etc. We can all use those moments of encouragement. All right, like, subscribe, share, keep coming back. Send this video to somebody in your life who needs to hear it. We got a whole life to live. I've got more sunrises in front of me than I deserve. I'm going to go enjoy them. Stop recording. So we're waking up. We are realizing that the life we were told to live does not match up with the life that we were promised. It's time for us to pull up our bookstop. Stop recording.